The beginning. My name is Kim Langston. I'm 38 years old, and I live in Olympia, Washington. I work at the Olympia Food Co-op, where I am a produce manager and garden manager, and I currently live in a barn to be able to subsidize my project.
My name's Jen Cleese. Kim Langston, well, she's my girlfriend, or what we like to call each other is life's blessing. It's even on our insurance policy.
When we started thinking about how we wanted to change our lives and we wanted to have more freedom to travel, to get higher education, we started looking at where we spend all of our money. And what we realized is the biggest expense for us was housing. We were spending a very large sum of money for something that we didn't own and something that we were never going to own. One day when we were walking, we saw a really tiny house in a backyard. And we're like, what the hell is that? That looks fun. It was our neighbor, Dee Williams.
Hey, my name is Dee Williams, and I'm a tiny house nut. Tiny houses on wheels. I love them. I built my house 8 years ago. Kim lived around the corner from me with her partner, Jen.
You walked by our house
Pretty much like every day.
Started talking, and over the course of a number of months, realized that what Dee had done in her neighbor's backyard was exactly what we wanted to do.
So about 3 years ago, we decided that we were going to build tiny houses. I worked on learning how to design them.
We spent the next year focusing on how were we going to do this? How are we going to afford it? The building phase is really expensive up front. There aren't loans for building tiny houses. We worked and worked and worked and worked, saved up a whole bunch of money, and in the summer of 2011, we got together with a whole bunch of friends and we started building Jen's house. We worked on Jen's, we finished it. We started up again June of 2012. After a lot of consideration, I decided, I'm going to hire 2 builders. I'm going to go and help them and be a part of the process, but I'm going to have them build it. I hired Daniel Zanevsky and Dennis Zanevsky, and it was amazing. An acquaintance had loaned us their barn to build in because he had all the tools. They made it their full-time job for 2 months, and they built the most beautiful house in the world. The exterior was completely finished, so it looked like it was a done house minus the fact that it didn't have a door. And on July 22nd of 2012 at 7 in the morning, a fire broke out in the barn that was adjacent to where my house was being built. Nobody knows how, nobody knows why. The fire department couldn't determine the cause of the fire. The barn caught on fire, my tiny house caught on fire, and by 10 o'clock, it was all gone. The buildings were gone, the dream was gone, the money was gone. I got a call at 9 a.m. while I was at work, which is where I get all bad news. And unfortunately, I had stored all the materials for the remaining parts of the project in the barn. So the loss was catastrophic for everybody. We couldn't get builder's insurance on the building because it's a tiny house. Daniel isn't a bonded builder, so he didn't have insurance. He lost everything that he owned too, as far as all of his supplies for his trade. It's been a little over 6 months, and we're ready to rebuild. What I realize is this is truly the direction I want to be going in. And no matter how hard I try to think about changing that, it keeps coming back. It was devastating. It was my entire life savings, and I borrowed money from friends, and it made living really kind of impossible. I felt totally alone dealing with, specifically the monetary loss. I heard a lot of, we can do this, we're going to make this happen. And over time, what I realized is, oh my God, these people are right. This is why we're doing an Indiegogo campaign, essentially. To involve as many people as want to be involved in the project that we're doing. Some of the prizes we're going to offer are actually coming to stay in the tiny house when it's done, so people can see what we pulled together as a community, as a group of committed people who want to do something different.